Hello everyone, Taki here. In my last video I covered the PowKiddy X18, and in that video I showcased the brand new Clean ROM for the unit, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install that ROM on your device. Before we jump into the video, I just want to do a quick little disclaimer. This entire process is going to take you around 30 minutes depending on the speed of your computer. I would strongly encourage that anybody that's going to do this joins the X18 Discord channel that's linked on screen right now, so that way you can be in the community of people that have this device that are also going through the exact same process that you will be doing on your unit. The firmware files that I'll be using in this guide are linked in the description box below. It's around a 1 GB download from a Google Drive, so you should be able to get it pretty quickly. I also want to do a quick thank you message to everybody that was involved in this release. This took a ton of time behind the scenes to get to the point where it can be released right now for you, so I hope you enjoy. Once you've downloaded the firmware and extracted it, you're going to find these 4 folders that I've split up into steps to make it easier to follow. The first step is to install these drivers. You need these drivers to be able to flash the firmware, and this driver install is going to take a little bit of time to go through the entire process, but your device should be able to be recognized later on in this guide. Once the installer loads up, you're going to be prompted to remove the USB devices from your computer. I happen to have 2 devices connected, so I'm going to disconnect those right now, and then I'm going to hit yes. After you hit OK, you're going to have to wait for about a minute for this whole uninstall script and install script to run. But after that, your device should be able to be recognized by the SP Flash tools that we're going to be using in this guide. Now that we're done with that, it's time to move over to step 2, and this is where we're going to be backing up the stock firmware of our device, so that way if anything goes wrong, we can flash back to the stock ROM. I've included a folder with ADB tools. If you already have it installed on your system, you feel free to use that instead, but I just included this for people that have no experience with ADB tools at all. Open up a command prompt window, and in that window you can feel free to drag the adb.exe inside the command prompt window, and then you're going to hit space and then type out devices. Now at this point, your device is probably not connected to your computer, but I wanted to show you what this looks like without anything connected at all. I'm going to walk you through the steps to enable USB debugging on your system. Go into your About Game settings, then go all the way down and start tapping on build number until you get the developer options to show up. Back out of that screen, go into the developer options, enable developer options, and then go down and enable USB debugging. Now that we've enabled developer tools, we can go and initiate that command again. Plug in your device to your computer. Go back into your command prompt window, and then you can just hit the up arrow key and the command should come back up again to initiate ADB devices. If this is the first time that you've ever done this, you are going to need to accept a message on your screen for an RSA key. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. Once your device is recognized like mine, you're going to back out of this folder and go into the ADB push folder. There's 2 files in here. The first one that we're going to be working with, and the command window that's going to tell us some of the commands that I'm going to be typing on screen, so you can copy and paste them. First thing that we're going to need to do is ADB push the file mtksu onto our device, and you can do that by using the command listed on screen now. For this, I'm going to be using the ADB that's installed on my computer, but if you don't have it installed, you can do the path to it in the folder that I just showed before. I'm going to be doing ADB space push. Then I'm going to drag and drop that mtksu folder into my command prompt window, and that's going to copy the path for that. Then the only thing left for you to do is hit space /data/local/tmp. Once that file is pushed, the next thing that we're going to do is ADB shell into our device. So you can use that path to your ADB again. I'm going to just use my installed one, ADB space shell, and you should get an X18 window. Then you're going to CD to that TMP folder by doing /data local and then TMP. After that, you're going to do chmod 755 mtk-su, and then you're going to do ./mtk-su, and you should have a message on screen that says that Linux is permissive. Now that we have root on our device, it's time to start backing up our partitions. We are going to be using 24 commands to be able to do this. There are 24 partitions for your device that you are going to need if you want to flash back to stock if anything ever goes wrong. Some of these partitions are going to be backed up faster than others, so just take your time. At the end of this, on your SD card inside your unit, you should have all 24 partitions that are listed inside this command window. Once you're done with this process, you can feel free to store these partition files in a safe place. You shouldn't ever need them, but if something does go wrong in your device, if it's soft bricked or something, you can flash back to the point before you decided to do this upgrade in your firmware. Now that you've backed up your device, it's finally time to flash that new firmware onto your unit. You're going to go into your step 3 folder. Inside that folder, there are 2 other folders. At this point, you're going to unplug your device from your computer, and then you're going to go inside that SP Flash Tool folder to start the flashing process. Inside the SP Flash Tool folder, go down to flashtool.exe and click that. Once this tool loads up, you are going to need to browse for a scatter file. Go to the scatter loading file and then click choose. You're going to need to navigate into the step 3 folder, then into Clean ROM, and you should see this text document. You're going to click on that. After this file loads up, your SP Flash Tools window should look exactly like mine. All of the partitions should have checkboxes in them, and all of the locations should be filled out. Navigate over to where it says Download Only, and you're going to select Firmware Upgrade. Then you're going to turn off your device, click the Download button, and then connect your device to the computer. Now I've already gone through this process on my device, so I'm not going to flash the entire image again. I'm going to uncheck this and just flash the logo partition just so you can see what this looks like. This is going to happen almost instantaneously. Yours is going to take about 10 minutes or so depending on the speed of your computer. If your drivers were installed correctly, after you click this download button with your device off and then connected to your computer, you should hear that noise. You should also see your device recognized at the bottom of this application as MediaTek Preloader. Now this flashing process can take around 10 minutes. It's important that you don't touch this application at all while it's going, or you will brick your system. Once you have that 100% done message, it's time to turn on your device. You should see this new bootloader that you can see on screen right now. It's a red triangle. And after a little while, you should see the new logo partition, which is this animated triangle. This means that you're pretty much in the clear. This can take a little while to load up on your first boot, but then after that, you have the Clean ROM installed onto your system. Now, after your system completely boots up, I would advise you to turn your system back off because our system is not rooted at this point, and you do want your system rooted for our next step. Go back into the SP Flash tool again, turn off all of your partitions, and then click on the location for your boot partition, and then we're going to navigate to the patched boot file. Now this time we're only going to be flashing the boot partition, but we're going to be using download only instead of firmware upgrade, but everything else here is exactly the same. Now that we have a rooted boot, we're going to install an application called Link2SD. It's inside the installation package that you got. You can use the App Store to get it, or you can just sideload this, but we're going to need to use this in a second. Click this little filter icon and then click on System. We need to remove the AddUps malware that's on this system, and you can do that by going all the way down until you see FOTA. Then you're going to click on that, and then we're going to uninstall it from our system. You can see here that I've already frozen it, but I'm going to uninstall it and show you what it's like to uninstall it. Once this window comes up, you can click on the options in the right-hand corner. You have several things that you can do. You can freeze it if you want to, but I'm going to just completely remove this from my system. So click uninstall and then click OK. And then you just have to reboot your system when you're done, and then there's no more malware on your system. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the new firmware that you have on this device. If you run into any problems at all, feel free to contact somebody inside the Discord that I linked at the beginning of this video. We would be glad to help you out. We do want more people to be able to enjoy this device for what it is and not what it's shipped with. My name's Taki, and I've been your host on this installation guide. If you like what you saw here, please consider dropping a like below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll catch you next time with another video. Now go out and enjoy the rest of your day. Taki out.